I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to Brazil. I want to go wherever. They will get you a ticket out one way. You have to sign a document saying you'll never come back to New York City. It's insane. So you're looking at thousands of flights every day going out. So you're looking at billions of dollars. New York City is probably costing them $3 to $4 billion a year. And I'm looking at a city that's crumbling. Like I drove around and I'm like, well, $1 billion here and $1 billion there would make a difference. No. Give it to all the illegal aliens. Give it all to them.
It's unbelievable. And I interrupted you. You were describing seeing really a disastrous part of New York City as you were driving around. Can you explain that before I interrupted you?
Oh yeah, it's a place called Hall Street, and it's another nondescript illegal alien holding facility. And the way that you know that you're approaching one of these places is out of nowhere. You know, you live in New York City, it's bustling. People are moving, right? And you gotta, if you're not moving, you're in the way. Not in these shelters, in these areas. So the moment you start to get near one of these, and they're nondescript, there's no markings, there's no nothing. All of a sudden you begin to see hordes of men just hanging out doing nothing. Literally just sitting, and they take over the whole city block. So we're going down Hall Street, we turn, and even I'm riding with my co-host on my podcast, Brian O'Shea, former intel analyst embedded with special forces in Afghanistan, in the Middle East. Even he was like, oh my God, because we turned a corner and there's several hundred men dressed kind of like the way you see men dress in pictures in the continent of Africa and the Middle East, just sitting there roaming around the city block. All, no women, no children, all single adult military age men from continent of Africa, the Middle East and Haiti. And you're like, whoa, well, hold on. What just happened? Where did I end up? And I said, Brian, tell me about this neighborhood. He goes, well, right across the street, this is upper middle class. They're putting these men right in the upper middle class areas because they have to put them all over the city. They can't just squeeze them down into Queens or something like that. So you are having hundreds, if not 1,000 military age adult males in one little small building, nondescript. So you just drive by. If you don't see them meandering around in hordes, you have no idea what's going on. None. They've hidden them in plain sight. And what I told Brian, and I told Ryan too, I said, you got to make sure of this. I said, get this on camera because I need the audience to understand this. This is shocking to see, right? Just 200, 300 of these men. It's shocking, right? Because they're aggressive. They look angry. They look perturbed. I said, that's not concerning to me. Concerning to me is they represent millions. Tens of millions of those men are in our country. Not hundreds of thousands, which is already unnerving, but I'm telling you, millions. 30 million people have come into the United States of America under Joe Biden. Prior to that, 22 to 25. We're around 50, 52 million illegal aliens in America. I'm telling you, tens of millions are single adult military age men in America. Do the math. Play it out. Do some critical thinking. This does not end well. It just doesn't.
Had you been to New York City a number of years ago and then came back now to see the difference? Have you seen a dramatic change at all in the city? Is it a totally different place now?
It's a totally different place, but I'm going to give you a little. So I played on a football team that was made up of law enforcement officers, and we played other teams. So we played New York Police Department at Floyd Bennett Field. Mm-hmm. Okay. That didn't register to me until we went out to Floyd Bennett Field to look at the giant migrant center they created. So I'm driving there and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, Floyd Bennett, I've been here about 8 years ago. They had carnivals and it was beautiful. It was like a lower middle class neighborhood, but it was vibrant. And I'm driving around. I'm like, oh my God, I've been here before. Oh my God, what happened? And I'm driving in the middle of this. It's like a wooded area with a river and there's a lot of camping. No, they took it over in the middle of nowhere and built it. It's a FEMA camp. It has to hold between 2,000 and 4,000 people. But as you and I discussed in our prior time together,